Black Ops 4 has been fully revealed. A lot of things have been added, but some important things have been taken away. What do I think of all of this? Halo is making its triumphant return, but not to the Xbox One, not even to PC. Where is it going? The answer may surprise you. And finally, two big games that were supposed to release in 2018 have been delayed until 2019. All that plus a rant about Inside Xbox on the Friday, May 18th edition of RGT News. Let's go!
RGTNEWS coming at you right now. Woo! RGT85 coming to you with the freshest video game news. Now take it away.
So Black Ops 4 got a big presentation. A lot of things have been added. There's new game modes, new things going on, and something very important has been taken away, I feel. And the thing that's been taken away is the traditional standard single-player experience. This game will not have a traditional standard single-player experience, which is what we heard via rumors that Black Ops 4 would not offer any sort of normal single-player experience, but I think it's pretty shocking to deviate from that. They say that a lot of players do not play the single-player experience, but I think a lot of people do. It's not necessarily because that the single-player experience is boring. Obviously, single-player games are important. I think just the single-player experiences in the recent Call of Duties just haven't been all that good as far as a narrative is concerned. So it is a bit disappointing to see that go away, but obviously the focal point of this game is going to be the multiplayer, as is with a lot of Call of Duty games. And the big thing that they've added is now there are three main modes of multiplayer action. The first one is the one that everyone's talking about, and that is called Blackout mode. It's essentially your Fortnite/PUBG style of gameplay. You're going to select from different characters, and the map size is supposedly 1,500 size the times of Nuketown, which was a fan favorite map in Black Ops, but Nuketown was a pretty small map, so that's kind of hard to get a gauge on how big this map is going to be. But basically there'll be different things in the levels as well, such as vehicles. There'll be boats, there'll be planes, there'll be cars that you can use to traverse the land, and that's really all they talked about. They just said it was going to be sort of the Call of Duty spin on the Battle Royale gameplay mode, and they didn't say how many players are going to be available, or if it's just the one map size that people will have to choose from, what sort of classes you'll be able to use. The details were pretty scant on that. I assume they're going to show that off at E3. They did release a bit of a teaser trailer, and one important thing is they didn't say how many players were going to be involved. There was a picture floating around that showed 150 players, but I think that's just way too many. You would have to have a very impressive source code and able to pull that off, a very impressive online code as well, in order to have 150 players interact with each other in a first-person shooter-like environment with this sort of gameplay mode. But I will reserve judgment on that. You know, they didn't show too much of it. Now, as far as the standard multiplayer is concerned, they showed a trailer, and when I watched this trailer, I was like, did you hire a 14-year-old to do it? Like some edgelord subpar rap song with things like Get Wrecked on the armor. Like, it was very, very cringe to me, but at least the gameplay looked decent. If you've ever played Black Ops 3, it's pretty much an extension of Black Ops 3, but there's an important subtraction from that game mode, and that is the whole flying around sort of thing. You could sort of hover in that game. You had like jetpacks, you could run along the walls and stuff. It really sort of took me out of the gameplay. It definitely didn't feel like a Call of Duty game. This game, however, will have all boots to ground combat, so everything will be based on ground stuff, so that's good in my opinion. I wasn't a big fan of the crazy jumps, and one of the biggest changes is there's not going to be any auto healing. You actually have to press a button in order to heal your character, so it looks a lot like Black Ops 3, just minus the jumping mechanics and stuff. I guess that's a good thing. It definitely looks pretty pick up and play, so, you know, I guess not too bad. And then Zombies mode has been completely redone as well. It will launch with 3 different zombie levels at the launch of the game, which is pretty impressive, honestly. And 2 of the levels are completely out there. It's a Titanic level, which has you like, yes, a Titanic, which has you like on a boat, and then there's an ancient Rome level where you're like doing weird stuff with magic and stuff. I don't really know how I feel about this. There is a lot of customization, though, that you can do within the gameplay mode. You can change the zombie's health, change the zombie's speed, change how much damage your weapons do. So, and you also have the option to play offline with bots. So that's pretty cool if you just want to sort of try it out and get your feet wet in it. Hopefully the bots are competent. So What do I think about Black Ops 4? Honestly, if I had to equate it to something, it's kind of like getting a box of crap and then throwing it at the wall and then hoping something sticks, because that's really how I feel about this. By getting rid of single player, by adding in this battle royale mode, by taking zombies and putting it on a Titanic and in ancient Rome, it's almost like it's like 3 different games into one. It doesn't really seem like this game has a clear direction. What is the drawing point of this game? Is it the battle royale mode? Is it the classic multiplayer? Is it the zombies? And the lack of a single player, I think, is really going to hurt in the long run. It might end up being a fantastic game. I wasn't a huge fan of Black Ops 3. I definitely preferred World War II to Black Ops 3, even though I wasn't a huge World War II fan. But I just feel like this game has too many things going on, and there's not really a focal point for it. They're just sort of throwing stuff at the wall and hoping something sticks. Obviously, the Call of Duty franchise has been around for a long time. Obviously, they're probably starting to run out of ideas with these yearly iterations of the game, so it's going to be very interesting to see. Of course, the game will sell phenomenally. Every Call of Duty does, so I won't be surprised in that aspect, but I definitely think this game is sort of lacking something. It was very underwhelming, and I think it left a lot of people confused. Let me know what you think of the Call of Duty reveal in the comment section down below, because I want your guys' thoughts on it as well. 2 games that I was looking forward to and playing in 2018 have been delayed until 2019, and one of the games is actually 2019 or 2020. I'm getting tired of this. I'm getting tired of these delays. But the first game, of course, is Shenmue 3. Shenmue 3 is, of course, the 3rd game in the Shenmue franchise. Shenmue HD 1 and 2 are coming to the PS4 and Xbox One and Steam this year. It would have been nice to have seen Shenmue 3 come out this year, but unfortunately the game has been delayed until 2019. In a Kickstarter update, Yu Suzuki said, "To all the backers, we are very sorry for the delay. After much discussion with our partners Deep Silver, we have concluded that extending the release will allow us to deliver Shenmue 3 at its best. We promise to use this time to improve the quality of Shenmue 3. So, you know, it's a Kickstarter game. This happens with literally every Kickstarter game. They get delayed and delayed and delayed, so you people shouldn't be surprised by this. I'm very anti-Kickstarter for these big games now, because it's just silly at this point. You don't really know what you're giving your money towards, and games just continually get delayed. So it is a shame that Shenmue 3 isn't coming out in 2018, but I am still hopeful that the game is good. The other game is Skull and Bones. I was actually really looking forward to Skull and Bones. If you don't remember what that is, it's basically Ubisoft doing a pirate game. It looks like a lot of fun. It reminds me a lot of Assassin's Creed 4, which is my favorite Assassin's Creed game, and it seems like they sort of used that engine with the boat mechanics and just expanded upon it. But that game has also been delayed until 2019 or 2020. In a press release statement, they said, "In line with previous practices and in view of acceleration of our digital transformation, growth and back catalog, and excellent momentum of recent releases, Ubisoft has decided to give more time to develop Skull and Bones to offer players an even more engaging experience. Skull and Bones is now scheduled for release in 2019 or 2020. So these were 2 games I was honestly looking forward to seeing more of at E3. It's kind of a shame that they're not coming out now this year, because I was really looking forward to them. But let me know in the comment section down below if you were interested in Shenmue 3 or in Skull and Bones like I was, because I think they're both going to be pretty cool games. We know that Bandai Namco is working on several different Nintendo projects, and one was coming out this summer. Well, I think today we learned what game was coming out this summer, and it's sort of an interesting game. A local multiplayer party-style game called Go Vacation. Now, this is actually a revamp of a Wii game that came out that I don't even remember. It must have came out sort of towards the tail end of the Wii's life cycle, because I know nothing about this game. It definitely looks like a mini-game sort of extravaganza. Basically, you're on a big island with over 50 different50 different activities that can be done in co-op and competitive. There's a marine city, a city, a snow area, and a mountain area where you could do different things like going horseback, underwater. There's scuba diving, horseback riding, and sea fishing that you could just do at your leisure. There's skydiving, surfing, skateboarding, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a local local multiplayer experience though, which kind of dampers it for me. I don't have a lot of people that I play video games around with locally. I kind of live in an area by myself. So I would have liked to see online multiplayer. I don't understand why these party games are always constricted to just local multiplayer. Yes, it's best enjoyed with people in the same room, but you can also enjoy it with people online. So unfortunately, I don't really see what this game is going to offer me. There's going to be a high level of customization for your characters. You're going to be able to use your Mii characters in there as well that you can create. So it'll be cool for families. It'll be cool for people that have friends over a lot of the time, but unfortunately, I probably am going to skip out on this game. This game will be coming out on July 27th exclusively for the Nintendo Switch, so you might want to keep it on your radar if you have have, you know, local friends or you have youngsters at home, because it could be an interesting game, but unfortunately not a game for me. The console that everyone is looking forward to, the Atari VCS, has some brand new information with a new game confirmation and a prototype of the boot up screen, because you know, you don't really need a boot up screen when you're less than 12 days away from launching your Kickstarter or your Indiegogo campaign. You could just sort of show off whatever and it's fine and gamers will give you money, right? I guess that's what Atari's hoping, at least. Well, Atari said that this system will be able to play classic 2600 games. They showed off Centipede on the 2600 as the first game running on the system, because that's really going to get people in the door. But they also showed off a new game that's going to be working on the platform, and that is Tempest 4000, and it honestly looks a lot like Tempest 2000 on my Atari Jaguar. Now, what's interesting about saying that this game will release on the Atari VCS is that it will have already been released on the PS4, Xbox One, and Steam for over a year by the time the Atari VCS supposedly launches in 2019. So I don't really think that's a huge drawing point. And it's not going to be exclusive to the Atari VCS. It seems like a misstep for me. I think this game should have been exclusive to the Atari VCS because it would have been cool. It would have given people incentive to check out the system. And they also showed off a prototype of a boot-up screen. Yes, a prototype. It could look like this, according to the Facebook post. Shouldn't you have a functioning, interface if you're launching in 12 days on Indiegogo? I would think that would sort of be important, to have everything sort of set in line. Have games ready to be shown off. You don't even have a functioning interface. You have a prototype of an interface, and you're launching in 12 days expecting people to give you money. This system is literally one of the most laughable things I have ever seen in gaming, and I could be completely wrong. Everyone could be completely wrong, and this could be an absolutely amazing, but I am not holding my breath for that because I do not want to die. So the Atari VCS, if you want to play a game that's sort of an indie game that looks a lot like an Atari Jaguar game a year after it's released on other platforms, and you want to see a prototype boot-up screen, this is a system for you. Otherwise, I would probably steer clear of it. One of the biggest franchises for the Xbox brand is, of course, Halo. Everyone loves Halo. I've been playing Halo since Halo 2. Halo 2 is definitely my favorite game in the franchise, and it's a really fun game. It's a great game that I think a lot of people enjoy. Well, during yesterday's Inside Xbox presentation, which we will talk about Inside Xbox at the end of this video, they announced that Halo is coming, and it's coming very soon, this summer, but not to the Xbox One, not to the PC. No. Microsoft knows what they're doing, and they're bringing Halo to the arcades. The arcades in 2018. Alright, so the game is called Halo Fireteam Raven. It's a light gun game based in the Halo universe. You'll see different things like Needlers and different things like the Warthog that you're familiar with. It'll be coming to Dave & Buster's exclusively this summer, and then it'll be available at other arcades. But I don't think many arcades outside of Dave & Buster's will be picking this up after the sort of initial exclusivity for the summer release for Dave & Buster's, because this thing will utilize a 130-inch ultra-wide 4K screen with 4-seated turret controllers. Arcades are not really doing all that well in 2018. I don't know if you're aware of that, so I don't think many arcades outside of huge conglomerates like Dave & Buster's will be able to afford this. Now, admittedly, the game looks kind of interesting. I enjoy light gun shooters. I think they're super fun. But why in the hell is this not coming out to Xbox One? Like, this seems like a huge misstep for me. Xbox One fans want games. I am an Xbox One owner. I want games for my Xbox One. I don't want to see things on a show called Inside Xbox where I'm expecting to learn about things for the Xbox, and then you show me an arcade game with one of my favorite franchises that I won't be able to play on my Xbox One. It seems very strange. And sort of in closing for this video, I want to talk about Inside Xbox because I think this show is absolutely terrible. If you guys aren't familiar with the show, it's basically a monthly show that Xbox does to sort of show off things. But I tried to stream the first one that they did on the channel, and I got so bored. Like, we ended up cutting the stream short like 40 minutes into it, because here's the problem with Inside Xbox, okay? You have a 20-minute show that you stretch out into an hour-and-a-half presentation. There are so many unnecessary things inside Xbox that just don't need to be there. Things like checking in with social media. Who the hell cares? cares? Who cares about some random tweet that somebody sent you? Obviously, you're going to cherry pick them. It would be interesting if you didn't cherry pick them, if it wasn't just all positive stuff, if you took a little criticism and addressed it live on the air, but of course not. It's all going to be cherry picked, sort of happy, yay, this is so cool stuff, which is just silly to me. You have these elongated interviews with game developers, which I respect that, but this isn't really the time and place for that, in my opinion, because these people that are tuning into the show want to see things for the Xbox One. They want to have hope and future for the system. I love my Xbox One. I watch Inside Xbox to get information on upcoming things, and it's just like information is sprinkled alongside of unnecessary stuff. To end the last episode of Inside Xbox, they had an over 40-minute thing about people from Smosh, which is a YouTube channel, people from the Smosh channel engaging in a State of Decay 2 sort of pseudo real life situation thing. Like, nobody cares about this. The comment section was absolutely horrible. Nobody was interested in this. They really need to condense this show down. A 30-minute show showcasing, brief developer interviews, showing you what things are coming out for the Xbox One, what things to look forward to on the horizon, what things you should be expecting. That would be awesome. But the way the show is now is absolutely terrible, and it needs a complete revamp. Alright, and that is going to do it for this very long episode of RGT News for Friday, May 18th. There was a ton of stuff to cover. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We obviously went over a ton of stuff. I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments section down below. We got new Switch games. We got new arcade games. We got Black Ops 4 fully revealed. We got 2 big delays. I want to know what you guys think of all of these stories in the comments section down below. And thank you for checking out this video. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and turn on notifications. RGT News is every Wednesday and Friday morning at 9 a.m. except the last episode because I forgot to schedule it. Sorry about that, guys. Sorry about that. But I was appreciative that some of you guys were like, where the hell is the show? It's past 9 already. That made me feel good. That made me feel like, doing the show is definitely worth it. If you haven't yet, make sure you enter the contest for 100,000 subscribers. We're less than 1,000 subscribers away from hitting that goal, which is absolutely insane. I'm giving away a couple different items courtesy of Castlemania games, and they are very kind enough to donate 2 items to the channel. So make sure you guys look for the pinned tweet or the pinned comment in the comment section down below and enter that contest. And like I said, hit that like button, share this video around, let your friends know what's going on with the world of gaming news, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Later.
RGT!